Thank you so much for joining us on American Medicine Today. I'm surrounded by a great group of guys and a lady.
I wouldn't go that far.
But right now we're going to say hello to Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Yes, Jeff Wagstaff.
Hello.
Hello. And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Benatti.
Hello.
Joining us right now is Jeff Stier, Senior Fellow at the Consumer Choice Center and Taxpayers Protection Alliance. Thank you for being here, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
You talk about PBMs and how they control nearly 80% of drug price. I don't understand how that's legal, but why don't you describe what PBMs are and answer the question, is this truly legal?
Everybody seems to agree that it would be a good thing if we could get drug prices lower. Right? Why are drugs costing thousands of dollars? And we understand that a lot goes into developing them. Investing in research and development is very expensive. Most investments in new drugs those drugs don't even come to market, so you have to recoup those investments. So we want to keep alive the flow of money into research and development, and what attracts that is the potential for profit. So there has to be a reasonable profit, taking into account the financial risk of investing in new drugs. But there's been all this pressure on drug companies to lower drug prices, and certainly there have been some very high-profile examples of some actors in the pharmaceutical industry behaving badly. But we recently saw drug companies making significant price reductions. One example that's been in the news is Repatha. It's a cholesterol-lowering medicine that works for patients who haven't succeeded on statin drugs. So it's really a breakthrough drug. Problem is it was extremely expensive. Drug companies cut the price. So what happened was these PBMs, or pharmacy benefit managers, these are the groups that historically have been hired by the insurance companies to negotiate drug prices for the plans. What's happened over the past few years is that these pharmacy benefit managers, or the PBMs, have been bought out by the insurance companies. That's fine. But the incentive systems that these PBMs have is they get reimbursed, they get paid based on the overall amount that we're paying for the drug. Then what incentives do pharmaceutical companies have to lower the drug prices? Just recently we saw that not only have the price cuts not been passed along to the consumers or the taxpayers, the manner in which these price cuts are done is the drug has to have a code, right, for all the insurance. And they had to create a new code for the lower priced version of the same exact drug. And the pharmaceutical companies, through their PBMs, have asked doctors to justify the lower cost code. In other words, they're forcing doctors to prescribe the higher cost code, even though it's exactly the same drug. And the reason for this is the incentives are all messed up.
Okay.
And when the reimbursement system for the PBMs, when they get paid basically by getting a cut of the total price paid by consumers, it is not working in line with the public policy goal of having lower drug prices.
Why is always something in the middle that is corrupted and is being respected? Instead of do that, these people should be immediately abolished as a business and removed from that type of behavior, or have some sort of a punishment by law that they cannot do that.
Pretty much everything else we buy, which is free market oriented, and there are laws that people can't game that system. And now I'm a free marketer. I believe that consumers should have choice and that the market should be allowed to work. But there has been a carve-out in the law that allowed them to do this. And this goes back to when they were not owned by the insurance company. Now it's like the kickback comes to themselves. The insurance industry and the PBMs are now making all sorts of excuses. They're saying, for instance, that while we do take these rebates and don't pass these price reductions, and we don't really pass them along to consumers, however, we use it to lower the cost of premiums.
So, Jeff, how do we really lower drug prices?
If we lower drug prices by forcing pharmaceutical companies to lower them, we may hurt innovation. So we need to have more transparency with how the drugs are being paid for, what's being charged, and who's charging it. So the PBMs, right now, there's not much transparency about how the insurance companies and their PBMs are charging us because they're not passing along the price reductions. And I think that's going to be the key.
Thank you so much, Jeff Stier, Senior Fellow at the Consumer Choice Center and Taxpayers Protection Alliance. Thank you for discussing such an important topic.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Make sure you check us out again next week, and thank you for listening and watching American Medicine Today.